In Python, everything is an object. I have a variable here called duck that points to an instance of the product class. Variables point to objects, and class instances are objects. Classes are also objects. So I can say my class equals product to point the my class variable to the product class. So I have a variable pointing to a class, and in fact, product is also a variable that points to a class. So anything that I could do with product, I could do with my class, meaning I could, for example, look up an attribute on my class by accessing either one of these two variables, or I could call this variable, and I'm really calling the product class. What do you get when you call a class? You get an instance of that class. So class instances are objects, but classes are also objects. You can point variables to either of these things. Modules are objects as well. So I can say silly math equals math, and since I've imported the math module, I've now pointed the silly math variable to the math module object. If I say sillymath.answer equals 42, I've just added a new attribute to the math module object, so math.answer is now 42. And this is possible because modules are mutable objects, meaning you can add attributes to them and you can update attributes on them. So if I take math.py and set it equal to 3, math.py is now 3 everywhere in my program. Now, this is a bad idea. You really shouldn't be adding or updating attributes in other modules after you've imported them. But it's possible to do because modules are objects in Python and they're mutable objects, meaning they can be changed. Functions are even objects. The one thing you normally do with a function is call it. Now this function can be called with one argument or no arguments. If I were to take a variable and point it to this function object by saying f equals greet, f is now the greet function. It points to the greet function, meaning anything I could do with greet, I can do with f. They're the same thing. Both of these variables point to the same function object. Functions, like modules, like classes, like class instances, they also have attributes. There is a dunder defaults attribute that Python adds to every function that represents the default arguments, or rather the default values for all arguments that that function might accept. So this is a tuple that has the string world in it, meaning if this function is called without its first argument, we'll see hello world. If I wanted to be devious, I could assign the dunder defaults attribute to a different tuple that had my name in it. So if I call greet now, it's now going to say hello Trey. And this is possible to do because functions are objects, meaning we can point other variables to them. And since they're mutable objects, we can even update the attributes that exist on those functions. So in Python, everything is an object. Classes are objects. Instances of classes are objects. Modules are objects. Functions are objects. Anything that you can point a variable to is an object.